Hey everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
So I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll run now with Ware. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. As far as defensive starters go, here they are for Indianapolis. They're just below the cut line for top half of the league, 17th in the NFL against the run.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping the run. That's something they have to work on and reverse a little bit. Make sure you play the run on your way back to the quarterback.
Throwing now is Carr. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny when we talked to him. All he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
Bell. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's Luck now on second down. This is Bell on the dump off. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll get this up to about the 40. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 13 carries, 77 yards.
And when you lead the league in rushing for this stretch of time, now you take on the identity. You now lead the team, and everything runs through you in terms of offense. A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Here's how they'll line things up on the defensive side of the ball for Oakland. This unit currently 7th in the NFL, Charles, in stopping the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. Block on third down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Doyle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, grab that dagger play, grab that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
The give is to Bell. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Marcus Gilchrist there to bring him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Over the middle, complete. It's Doyle. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, it's Bell. And a short gain here down to the 22. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Luck looks to throw on 3rd and 1. toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. The Colts with a first red zone opportunity in the ball game. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Goes underneath for Bell. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the #1 thing he does best is tackle.
Here's Luck. And it's caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jesse James, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first quarter lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. Switzer now to return. And now Oakland ready to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Colts getting ready to go. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
On first down, it's Love. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Out of the gun, Luck. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They run it here. Ware. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Spencer Ware's numbers on the ground a week ago. 24 carries, 100 yards on the nose, and a score.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league end up being in the top 5 before it's over.
On the ground, this is Ware. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. They'll leave this for Ware. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Just the first quarter of a tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. On the run, it's Ware. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Now whistles as time has run out on this first quarter. It's a close game here early on. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. From the gun, it's Carr. And Cook has it, left side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And getting our first update now from Nashville. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. Marcus Mariota, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30. Luck now to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Locke. James has got it. Complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Locke. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So out come the Raiders. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now they'll run on the draw. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. A nice little juke. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Dumps that off to Ware. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Shotgun now for Carr. Letting one go deep for Roberts. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball. And Le'Veon
Bell making his way back out onto the field now. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
A give to Bell, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Spencer Ware and the rest of his offense retaking the field. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. And they'll run it here. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make this a 2nd down.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A Raiders first down. Carr hooking up with Cook.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Eric Rowe that time able to knock that pass away.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to air it out deep for Matthews. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Room here to run. He finds Roberts, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Seth Roberts, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. Extra point up and through by Myers. And we are tied at 7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Love. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a gain of 3. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, here's Love. Hard throw, incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Carr now on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Roberts. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a play fake. Carr. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's Carr to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. The Raiders on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Carr. That is caught at the 7-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Nick O'Leary, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Now Myers for the extra point. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. We focus our attention now on T.Y. Hilton as he gets ready to head back onto the field. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free. Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. Back to the air. Luck on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball. Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Shifts by him. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give him 9, though, on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And now Derek Carr, he is the focus of our player spotlight. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
The protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The second half starts with a carry by Bell, and he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Luck now on second down. Over the middle, complete. It's Doyle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also moved the sticks. 5th catch of the game for him there. Yeah,
and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And he spins past him and into space. Le'Veon Bell, kiss him goodbye. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 38 yards on the scamper there.
It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back, but now I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, 2nd-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the 1st. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Locke. This is Bell on the dump-off. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Automatic
because they're inside the 30. So now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Luck. And he's going to find Doyle in the end zone for a Colts score. Jack Doyle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and we are tied at 14. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. Ooh, with a juke. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the 2nd half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run again with Ware. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Clayton Gathers makes the stop.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing now is Carr. He'll get this one to Switzer. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there at 22.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now a play fake here on first down. And Roberts with it over the middle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
On now is the kicker, Jason Myers, for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 46. And Myers able to knock it through. And they take a 17-14 lead. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches that I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now Bell. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll go again with Bell. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it with Bell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle was made by Joel Iyiegbuniwe.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Bell. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard in the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Partner, I think they saw something there. I mean, they came from the right side deliberately, and you know there's always a designated guy who goes and blocks it, but it's the rest of his teammates that get him free.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them. All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Get down!
On 1st down, Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels. What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon. So apparently, neither guy is immune.
Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Luck now to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's James. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Luck in the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Luck goes underneath for Bell. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now Carr over the middle, complete. That's Roberts. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Carr now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Carr. And Matthews has it right side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And on the ground they go with a running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
It's caught. Nelson. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. First down Raiders, the former Packer Jordy Nelson on the receiving end from Carr.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And they'll run it here. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he's got his tight end, Cook, in the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. Jared Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders have moved out in front. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy. He's got a man, complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Now a first down throw, Luck. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll fake it. Now Love. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Leonard Floyd in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Looking the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Love. And he's going to go down again.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Raiders. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go play action here on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Right back to him on 1st down. And now running right through it. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now a handoff looking right. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a 1st.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Quincy Wilson in on the stop. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Now Carr. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Carr going to throw here. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, you know, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down. His throw incomplete. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Luck. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Leonard Floyd in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Desperation time for Luck on fourth down. Able to find Deion Kane, complete, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. And he'll get up and spike it with 11 seconds remaining. And no, they can't connect on the pass. So that gets the clock down to 11. Time for probably 2 more plays. Got to go quickly, though. Now it's Luck. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
One last throw here for Luck. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Raiders, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back.